Welcome along then to Great Britain and the Great Silverstone circuit for today's Grand Prix. Silverstone circuit then is 3.6 miles long, has a total of 18 corners, and of course is no stranger to the rain. There won't be any DRS available in these conditions, but the Wellington and Hangar straights are still good opportunities to tuck into the slipstream and make a pass. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Phoenix lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, George Russell and Sainz, Hamilton, Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon, Perez, Magnussen, Alex Albon and Mick Schumacher, Stroll, Joe, Yuki Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly, Théo Pourchaire and Nicholas Latifi. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us, Ant, and tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
Here we go then, the formation lap is underway. These are wet conditions here today. Each driver will no doubt be mindful of the wet surface as they prepare to race around the track. So as all the cars reform the grid, the drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers, ensuring the planned strategies are all in place. And it's lights out and away we go. Once again, Max Verstappen gets a decent start. Not as good as yesterday. Right with him. Leclerc is already ahead of Bottas. Verstappen's ahead. Leclerc going through the second turn. It's the Red Bull Leclerc coming back. Into Village we go. It is Verstappen, Leclerc, Bottas and Ricciardo ahead. Lando Norris.
Verstappen's going to have to weave like crazy and got a better drive off the loop. He will be faster down the Wellington straight into Brooklands.
Not going to get a chance to weave because already he's with them. They almost touch. They go into Brooklands. Verstappen stays ahead. The crowd roar their approval for this. The two championship contenders giving it everything.
It's not over yet, but gets another slipstream all the way down the old pit straight into Copse Corner. These are critical corners for this Grand Prix.
He's going to try again, this time on the inside. Going to try and dance around the outside. British crowd roaring their approval for this duel on the first lap.
Slowest man, Max Verstappen. He's carrying a lot more downforce. He needs to get out of these corners and actually has cost him ground.
And we can see, riding on board with Verstappen, just how treacherous it is.
And he fancies a bit of a run around the outside. I think the Red Bull will have more grip. But at the moment, Verstappen is on his back foot. He's lost a lot of ground.
As Leclerc sets off down the straight, we're on board with Max Verstappen. Has he got enough distance to try and close in? No, just runs out of straight at the end.
Moving really late.
Remember what I said in Austria when I said I didn't think there should be a penalty? You know, what goes around comes around. It's just coming around, isn't it?
This is absolutely brilliant racing between two supremely talented drivers, and they are giving it everything here. Here comes Verstappen again. He's almost pushed onto the grass. Somehow Leclerc stayed ahead. And I think Verstappen had to back off a little bit there because he was almost on the grass on the inside at Stowe. This is getting serious.
On the limit, near the edge, that one.
As well, we're going racing. Oh, there goes Verstappen on the inside of Charles Leclerc. Verstappen struggling. He's got the pace here, but he just can't find a way past Charles Leclerc. This is not Austria, this is Silverstone. But boy, oh boy, was that close to contact.
You have to keep up to date when I can go to the right mode.
The battery level is low, Max. The battery level is low, so whilst you're attacking, that's the best mode.
Verstappen's going for it. He pulls out late once again, and he's got the job done. Going into Stowe.
Verstappen wide again. He's now going to have to defend against Leclerc.
He's been doing all the attacking on Leclerc. Now he's defending. They do touch wheels as Charles Leclerc barges his way through, and Max Verstappen hangs out around the outside to try and regain the place, which he does. Behind them, Carlos Sainz is now getting involved as well. How many more laps of action can Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc give us? On the changing of the tyres, as down the inside goes Charles Leclerc on Max Verstappen. Oh, and did that catch Max Verstappen napping a little bit, because he certainly wasn't expecting Charles Leclerc to come down the inside. That was a brilliant move. To turn 4 this time we go, and on the run down, difficult braking zone, Max Verstappen comfortably ahead. Oh no, the engine's gone. The engine's gone for Carlos Sainz. And whilst he was looking at an overtake, he has been undone by a power unit problem. And oh dear, oh dear.
No, edit, no.
He sees the checkered flag, and for the first time, other than when he's on pole, he takes victory, and Max Verstappen settles for second place.
MP1!
Yes, sir! Yes! Yes, come on! Yeah, it was a good result, guys. Really good. I mean, after qualifying and then this race result, I think it's yeah, really well executed as well.
Well, mate, that's great points today, and you know, great teamwork.
An incredible British Grand Prix it was. A real treat for a record-breaking crowd. The future secured for Silverstone for at least 5 more years. The 70th British Grand Prix and a champion performance on a champion Grand Prix. What a race that was.